seconds, not a lot of time.
Oh, get that out of here. Kessler Edwards. And then on the other end, the ring route.
Well,
Greg Brown.
That's what we want to see more of from Greg Brown. That's a way that he can separate himself. He's a tremendous athlete. I thought he was kind of casually walking up the floor yesterday, Jay, and at times relies too much on his jump shot. He's got to get on that offensive glass, get on the
NBA Combine, NBA Draft Combine, was Kessler Edwards' teammate Colby Ross, one of the best guards ever in the West Coast Conference. And there's Greg Brown. I mean, that's how much he values our relationship, that he would take me there.
More importantly, who paid?
Actually, he did. And now, Fonz, this one actually was interesting. So,
as a defender, you know, like, it's hard to guard people who can change speeds real well. Like, just one speed is easy to guard, but the change of speeds, the stop, the goes, the go one speed, it's really hard to guard.
Nice. Up top with the lob.
Really
Greg
nice.
Brown.
Really nice play out of the top.
Possible. Taught second and third grade Sunday school, and analytically he's off the charts as far as led the Big 12 in assist rate, led the Big 12 in field goal.
Establishments be allowed.
This bus allows 6 people at a time to come in and get vaccinated.
The first female coach in the NFL.
It's a new way to see the best of News 12's local channels from all across the tri-state.
Ty Jones steps inside for 2. Way up in the air goes Brown and almost tipped it home.
Pretty easy.
Brown will try a 3. Just about banked it in.
Exceptional athletes. 2 of them on the court right now with Jericho Sims and the freshman Greg Brown.
Well, you look at those 2, you throw Kai Jones in there, and you're right. Those 3 guys are big-time athletes. Wrong side of that defense, then the back cut with Davion Harmon. A nice executed play by Oklahoma.
Brown spinning on Harmon. There's a foul, and count the bucket. Erases the shot.
Look at the length that Texas has, coming over and stopping the dribble but recovering back.
Brown, that's just tough to defend.
Boy, he is so talented. And it's just
to Coleman, quick pass, Andrew Jones. Decent recovery there from Harkless. Manick helps him out into Brown. Tough finish at the rim.
But just making yourself available is such a big part.
Ramey. Andrew Jones, Longhorns leading scorer. Brown, inside, off the back rim. Greg Brown. Reeves rising up with Sims. Back to Sims. Greg Brown, contested 3, short, and Brown saves it, but his foot was on the line.
To the floor.
Longhorns by 4. Ramey. Brown, he can't get a hold of it, and Queth rebounds. Here comes Austin Reeves.
Space, we added Jalen Bridges and Emmitt Matthews in that rotation. That worked out the best for West Virginia.
Greg Brown off target. Texas is. Shaka Smart says more than anything, he's so impressed with Sims' personal growth, and that has allowed him to grow as a player. Greg Brown on the interior for 2. His first basket.
What happens is you have the most athletic.
Oh, watch out. Hot 3.
Maybe Coach of the Year in the Big 12?
Yes.
Maybe. I mean,
if it's not Scott Drew, it's got to be.
Yeah,
him,
I mean, you know, I love Coach Drew to death, and partially biased, but Mike Boynton, only about 5 of them or 6 of them in the top 25. So I think Big 12 is the best.
Oh, another detonation of the ring.
For some reason, I just think that they'll get it going, they'll turn it on, and
Stark turning it on. Oh, easily knocked it out of his grasp. So
Johnson, as Texas cranked up the pressure there. Longhorns looking for their first field goal. Here's Greg Brown with one of those early threes, rattles it home, and that's a nice sign.
In front of Bolton and prevent him from getting into a driving lane.
Greg Brown off the feed on the inbound, nearly threw it down, but Young got a piece. Jalen Coleman lands. Brown, long J, and puts it down. So nice sequence difference between Brown and all the other star freshmen that preceded him on the Shaka Smart. That he came in, as Condit gets the block, not having to do everything. He could fit in on them.
No, and I mean, this Iowa State team has good players.
Brown was soaring, looking for the putback.
You know, and because
20 points against Iowa and 17 against Baylor. He's up to 8 on his 22nd birthday. Greg Brown, and it's back-to-back outside shots.
Attacking the pressure of Texas.
Brown corner 3. Brown got the corner 3.
Coy on the floor.
So, had microfractured knee surgery. That's usually a lengthy recovery. My goodness, Greg Brown from outside and then showing lefty off glass, no. Greg Brown, transition 3, short. And Ramey trying to save it, but it's going to
accepted his role as a big. They're a really good team and dangerous.
Well, look at Oklahoma State. Almost beat West Virginia, almost beat this Texas team. Yep. As Brown lets it fly, feeling it. Wearing his...
I don't know what the word means, but I know you're smart with the Syracuse. It's a puzzle right now. I don't think even Shaka knows, but when they play well, Carter, they can beat anybody in the country. They're that talented.
There's Brown going inside, trying to get it going in the paint for the first Red Raider bucket.
It's a good sign. We want Kyle Edwards to be more aggressive, Carter. In a big game in a national championship against Virginia, 18 points, so people expect him to do that.
Brown step out. All right.
Identity card, right? They have terrific guards that are talented and streaky, but they got big guys that can play too. So balance it, mix it up.
Right back inside. Brown gets swatted, but the Horns get it back. Kai Jones,
many for a talented team.
Brown lines up the 3. Sims fighting for it. Nice tap. Double-digit comeback against Kansas. Now can the Longhorns do it again?
I think they will, Carter. I think they're talented enough to do it. That's it. Get it to the big guy. That's what you got to do. Let the big dog eat. Get the ball to win games now. Be patient, Longhorns. Try to play hero ball. Share the basketball.
Jones, kick to the corner. Brown tries a 3. Jones has the offensive board.
Gotta love his heart, Carter. Very courageous, undersized, post guy.
Randy good find. Brown steps into it. Another missed 3 from Brown. He has
and goes to the offensive glass every time a shot goes up.
Greg Brown a step back, and the freshman hits the backboard first. Created the long rebound for Sims.
Oh, you have got to take away vision. You can't let the passer just window shop, off that pick and roll.
Strong drive along the baseline by Greg Brown.
And that's what he's got to do against State in Illinois. It looked like Rocket Watts was back playing a little point guard for the Spartans, and they needed that win badly just for their mental health. And once you draw help, then you can play drive and kick.
Brown from the rim.
Texas very fortunate there, made a defensive mistake, and Brown was wide open.
That won't go for Greg Brown. Kept alive. 5 seconds to go in the half. Greg Brown, straightaway 3. That won't go. And it will be a double-digit lead for KU at Kansas. Right at the defensive end, they are making a difference and making it hard on the opposition. It's Greg Brown. Too little of that. The Big 12, some guys are playing in high school against Big 12 level competition, and that was not what Greg Brown faced. He's got another three, though.
Well, he's got a touch to the left, and a three wouldn't go, and now it's Ramey. Ramey trying to find Sims. Brown collects. Sims, rebound, put back.
This kid, Sims, he will play pro basketball. Don't worry about the stats. But he just picked up a second.
Getting tangled up.
Yeah, watch Courtney Ramey right here. Watch him use the other side of the backboard. Really good. Watch Jalen Bridges. He's trying to block it on the left side. And so Courtney Ramey
found Kai Jones near the basket, and it just fell out of his hands.
This is the 7th turnover of the second half, and Kai Jones has dropped a number of passes.
And you see him there literally on the court, encouraging his team.
Brown for three. Got it. And that's what he was so good at early. But each team has a good interior presence. Samuel, very efficient. And then Sims and Greg Brown for the Longhorns. That rolls out. So how do these teams go about setting up the bigs?
Got to give some credit to Coach Smart, just for having the trust and putting the faith in Jones to give him the platform to do what he does.
Greg Brown was thinking about throwing it down, laid it up. SC, former 5-star prospect at a high school.
Yeah, and he had a ton of injuries, and it wasn't until this year where he could get it going and get a rhythm in terms of games played.
Brown falling down and hit it. Go. So Jones picked up foul number 3. He's on the bench. Got to remind everybody, this is a huge game for Texas. And Brown is short on that.
We have a team that should be considered for the tournament. Big game for both of these teams.
Nembhard has missed 9 straight. Greg Brown putting it down.
Been in games like this that they've won and lost. They're very explosive, particularly on the perimeter. So Texas will have to close them out.
Brown for 3, trying to make
very high percentage. When he's a little more rushed and his body's a little out of kilter, he does not shoot the ball as well. That last basket, he was square.
Brown lost the handle.
He won. They did win their Big 12 opener December 15th against Iowa State.
Well, you mentioned that this team hasn't won. Whoa, that's Brown.
Greg Brown knocks down a 3. Who puts it in?
Well, that's where they excel with Bradford. Whenever they get him diving on pick and roll situations and find him, that's where he's best.
And Greg Brown with Jones, the step through. Greg Brown on the floor, trying to make a poster. And the whistle blows, the foul is called. But that appeal looks like it's going to drag into March, which would allow them to play. Brown missed the floater. Offensive rebound, Brock Cunningham. Back to... Now Texas shooting 70%, 7 of 10 so far. Greg Brown has had a hot hand, and now he has his 3rd 3 of the first half.
Guy, Ted, who will be playing next year professionally. He get in the right situation, he can be an NBA player.
Oh, now an explosion at the rim. Greg Brown hammering.
And one of the reasons guys move with those rankings is because they're so young. They're still developing. So that's just the same. That'll come down to execution on the offensive end. Who is better at executing and getting good looks?
Greg Brown hits the target.
Great field goals. Brown feed to Jones. And they're just inside the 3-point line. Sims had it for a moment, and then it's taken away as Likely collects it.
Texas.
Brown down. Boone rebounds, and here's Likely. 6.1 seconds left, 3 on the shot clock, so they got to get rid of it here. Ramey does, misses. Brown, rebound, put back. Are they saying?
Got to get at least 2 or 3 changes of sides to get the defense to move. See, that's too much. Too much dribble.
Brown a 3.
I remember that quite well, John. One of the highlights of my season that year.
Here's Brown, foul line jumper, wouldn't go. It's quite a life you've carved out for yourself, Randy. Yeah, Coleman. Hesitation, trying to draw the contact. Cunningham.
Oh, there he is.
There for the follow. Greg Brown flying in for the dunk.
He recognized that he would make the pass to the pass that led to the open shot. Really good recognition. Young team that has to, in my opinion, figure out what goes into winning.
Okay.
And a lot of times it's just eliminating bad plays.
Good play right there.
Yeah.
And now
Jericho Sims was pushed into the backcourt off the deflection, so Texas will keep it. You talked about those great guards. Here is Greg Brown, the freshman, an opening three off the back of the iron, and he's got his... The Longhorns were 66-44 winners yesterday, and they have a steal this time with Brown. On the gas pedal, Brown. And no call.
Good.
What would it take to get you into the UFC octagon? There's
Nothing.
Connecticut, Thursday, 9:30 Eastern Time.
In the last 21 years, what school has won the most NCAA men's basketball championships?
In the last 21 years, North Carolina.
Our heart goes out to the Thompson family with Clay's knee injury.
Oh, certainly a huge loss for the basketball community.
A huge loss for him. Brooks and Armando Bacot getting all 6 points here. We've got a real game, and it looks as if Texas thinks that this game is over. This is a partial score, and there's nothing more meaningless than a part in the Netherlands. And then more is the word for rolling hills, which is what it's like there in Asheville. And right now, it's the North Carolina Tar.
56-54 lead for Texas. Roy Williams, the Asheville native, hoping to win in his hometown as that three is no good for Texas. And here comes North Carolina down by 4.
And holding up the championship trophy in Maui and the NCAA championship later on. They're going for it all. North Carolina in 3rd place in the race to the -7. -7.
You're more acidic than you are basic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that we already knew that. Brown the miss. And a foul. Courtney Ramey, the junior out of St. Louis, denied by the freshman Galloway for Indiana, but it's taken back away. Cunningham to the floor. Ramey the lob. 13 Texas. ESPN College Basketball and the Camping World Maui Invitational, brought between Cardboard Bill Walton and 3D Bill Walton.
The right side of your screen, Archie Miller is
from the perimeter, but I expect him to play well eventually.
Coleman, showtime to Greg Brown. Another thunderous dunk by the true freshman. And Coleman's Sule, no good on the mid-range J. Texas coming out playing with some swag. Brown for 3. He's always good to at least attempt one of those early threes, but that's not where he's at his best. Cats 3-1 on the season. Picked to finish 5th in their division in the Sun Belt. Oh, out of control as Brown was trying to flush that on someone. Does not shy away. Here's Harrell.
In terms of execution on either end of the floor, really the only area that could be in question, maybe, is their three-point or their shooting. And Fevers is injured, emotional health and physical health, and he sees it just beyond wins and losses. He's about developing young men. I would have been hiring this young man a long time. Good on Coach Barnes to have a coach like a Lanier around him and running a program like he has here at Texas.
Hey, attack mode there from Greg Brown. Went hard to the hoop for the finish. Sule gets it past Jericho Sims for the finish. And Alonzo Sule, the junior from Houston, off to a good start here in the second half. Brown no good. Sims there. And does not shy away from the story as well. Greg Brown to the paint. Leaves it short. Jericho Sims is going to kick it out to Ramey Cool. Back to Coleman. Texas trying to pull away. A nice feed from Coleman to Brown inside. He collects it and finishes.
Yeah, that was a big
12 points for the team leader, the general, in the words of Coach TJ. Brown, no good. And it's going to be Texas State basketball set.
Yeah, it's a critical data point for Coach Smart. And I think one of his best runs last year at the end of the season.
Greg Brown showing the range, knocks down the three. His first.
Look at these sites and you think you may be one and done or not. But yeah, he's just a very young ball player.
Yeah, he can do things like that. That's a lot of size, a lot of athleticism. And Fossey and Michael Griffin, and then Texas Game Day Final presented by AT&T 5G after the game. Greg Brown, another three ball, gets it to drop, and Brown extending his arms.
Nothing there, you got a big fella.
Hey, but that's some good handles there. Brown, another three ball. Now he's really heating it up.
Backcourt. Texas has a senior in Coleman, a junior in Ramey, and a fourth-year junior in Jones. Brown with an 18-footer, and it's good.
That's huge. Remember, this kid is 1 for 16 behind.
All fancied up in one of the nicest suits you'll ever see, but he's gone casual like just about every coach has this year.
He told us before the game that he's hoping. Whoa!
Oh, Brown for three.
Yeah. That's something he...
But it sure looked like he used that left arm to knock down his defender.
I would agree. I do not think that was a flop.
Brown for three. What a rebound by Ham. Sims with a size advantage now on Swider. Banging with him, backing him down. Tip no good, and finally the third time is true for the Longhorns. It'll be Sims. We're inside again, and Greg Brown's having none of it. Well, it's one thing to do that against a guard. Lob over the top, but a little bit too high, even for a guy like Brown. So he'll knock down a three.
This is, he was 1 for 50.
High percentages, Tyler, because he's taking good shots and makeable shots and not really forcing anything, taking what comes to him.
Sims over to Brown, but gathering the offensive rebound. Back to Brown. Chance for and one.
Well, Brown...
You'd mentioned for Greg Brown, a career high in points, 18, 3 of 7 from 3. Field goals made, and talked a lot about his grittiness, that Chicago style bringing to the court in this team. Brown with the lead to Jones.
It's okay to bring it out. It's okay to kick it out.
Brown keeps it alive and fights for the opportunity and lays it.
Do that all day long. And, I mean, that's...
Texas with the steal. Coleman will miss the layup, but the putback there from Brown.
5 perimeter players.
I had mentioned as well, Texas still without Jace Febris, but has started to get into half-court control. Live drills, making progress. 2 for 4 from the stripe.
Boy, Texas's best defense tonight.
Been at the free throw line.
Yeah, the cleaning up really is more about individuals than it is about the collective of this team. Defense is great. They do a good job of protecting.
That's amazing. 6. I mean, they spread the court. Very difficult to give help against those kind of people.
They're trying to answer there is Greg Brown. He couldn't do it. This is the freshman Brown, and his shot is rejected by Thamba. Play inside, got it blocked by Sims.
Sims, good athlete, good defensive play by Sims right there.
Brown buries one. Texas within 1.
He doesn't agree with the zebra, but nobody ever agrees with the zebras.
Brown jumper off the mark.
The three ball just changes the whole complexion of the game.
Sims inside finds Brown. Brown the throwdown. Look out! Oh my goodness. Longhorns into the front court.
One thing you'll see from this Texas backcourt will be a lot of isolation play.
Bryce Ham, who is a top 100 recruit as a freshman. Rebound then collected by Brown, and the freshman puts it in. Down by Ham. Brown into the front court. Owadis Williams now. Sooners ahead. Williams had it knocked away. Taken back. Coleman kick up ahead.
Watch out. Yes,
and
sir.
Brown puts it in and absorbs the contact. Longhorns by 6, looking for more. John Shambi framed for Schiller. Big 12 basketball on a Tuesday. Brown.
And just saw Greg Brown III's game, right? One of the top freshmen in college basketball on Saturday. 4 p.m.
Is Cooper the best player in the SEC in your mind?
Man, I'd have to think about that. This team shorthanded will go to Kentucky and play a Kentucky team that is coming off a big win over LSU. Nice pass inside.
Brown, 1 minute to go, first half, 5-point game. Williams going to work, left side, and that one was halfway down for Greg Brown. Rebound.
See what I like
Texas
about
down 11.
Don, you talked about it earlier. He went right back to the same play. Got Manick in the ISO to start with the small lineup. Manick's trying to post.
Texas with a takeaway.
Nice pass by Donovan Williams.
Find Brown. Well done.
Yeah, good job. Great effort on the floor, and great to throw it without traveling. That's a huge basket. That's a huge basket.
Corner at 3.
Speak about the extent of his range. Ramey, and this time finds Greg Brown down low for the lob.
Well,
he was scored in double figures in 10 of the 12 games this year. That's a 3 from Greg Brown off the front rim. It bounces around, almost fell in, but an offensive rebound for Brock Cunningham. He finds a cutting Brown, who misses a second chance opportunity, and then Kai Jones commits.
Higher power on the perimeter, and I think early Texas shocked West Virginia about how you're going to have to guard me, and now they're making him take some jumpers.
2-point shot from Greg Brown, live for Texas. Here's a drive. Missed by Andrew Jones, but a third opportunity, a 3 from Greg Brown, and finally Culver had it, then had it not turnover.
Well, that was kind of a force down low. He wasn't open. That's where you have to reverse the ball, let Culver get better post position on the weak side.
Greg Brown getting a lot of open looks. Just a little bit long on his
too soon, probably. The Texas defense is set, and they know where he is. They have to get him a little bit more on ball reversal on the move.
Ramey, nice pass, found Greg Brown. He lost to Brown, hanging on the rim. Make
that forward spot opposite Derek Culver.
Coleman. Brown couldn't get to the rim, but was able to stretch out and just flip it in. It's been a while since Texas has had the lead. They had an early 5-point lead today. Greg Brown 3. Tip. And a rebound for Coleman. Long pass. Kai Jones. Here comes Texas. They're only down 2.
That points today. That's what they've done. Got on transition. Just beat West Virginia down the floor. That time.
The opening possession of the game, and a lot of experience, Jay, in the backcourt for Shaka Smart's team.
Well, Courtney Ramey with the basketball, and also Matt Coleman, 2 outstanding players. Coleman, the rock, Ramey, the heart. As they're leaving is because of the timing. And you'd rather have more time for the player to work it out, and then the school gets a year of service out of him. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
But Greg Brown showing his handle and knocking.
Well, Suggs a little too low on that list at number 6. He should have been 2 or 3.
Brown with a drive, left-handed, too strong off the glass, and another rebound for Abaji. And again,
an interview with a player, and I think you'd agree, Jay. I mean, he was a delight. He was a terrific kid to talk to for 10 or 15 minutes yesterday.
Yeah, one of the nicest young men you're going to meet, and really gets it in a ball game.
10 points, make it 11 points, 12 rebounds in the game. The first double-double of the season for the senior from Minneapolis. It looks like he's going to get the rest of the game.
As Texas cranked up the pressure there. Longhorns looking for their first field goal. Here's Greg Brown with one of those early threes, rattles it home, and that's a nice sign. Bolton. And it ends up in the hands of Coleman. Here's Ramey. And a jump ball.
Well, we got to talk about that in front of Bolton and prevent him from getting into a driving lane.
Greg Brown off the feed on the inbound, nearly threw it down, but Young got a piece. Jalen Coleman lands. Brown, long J, and puts it down. So nice sequence showing between Brown and all the other star freshmen that preceded him under Shaka Smart. That he came in, as Condit gets the block, not having to do everything. He could fit in with the to make it easy on them.
No, and I mean, this Iowa State team has good players.
Brown was soaring, looking for the putback. 20 points against Iowa, and 17 against Baylor. He's up to 8 on his 22nd birthday. Greg Brown, and it's back-to-back outside shots hit.
The pressure in Texas.
Brown corner three. Brown got the corner three.
He'd be a decoy on the floor.
So had microfractured knee surgery. That's usually a lengthy recovery. My goodness, Greg Brown from outside and then showed him. Lefty off glass, no. Greg Brown, transition three, short. And Ramey trying to save it. But
he's accepted his role as a big. They're a really good team and dangerous.
Well, look at Oklahoma State. Almost beat West Virginia, almost beat this Texas team. Yep. As Brown lets it fly, feeling it, wearing it.
Jones defended by Trey Jackson. Finds an open Greg Brown, the big man launching a three. It's too long. It's a long three miss. Jones almost lost the handle. Brown coming in like he wanted a slam. Condit was in the way, but he gives it up to Kai Jones. Coleman weaves, going for the lob. Brown gets it back and scores. Second opportunity. And Texas ball to begin the second half with a 10-point lead. Brown three, good, and that's the way the Horns start things at half number 2.
Team recruiting class. So I know my man is tired of being in school.
7 points for Coleman. Lands a drive by Brown and a rebound for Jaden Johnson.
Good pass.
Catch and shoot. Febris. Offensive board. Kai Jones. Bounce pass underneath. Got it. Greg Brown was going in for the impressive. Turnovers are even now on both sides.
That's a great call.
Yeah, Kip had the right call there. Good look from our crew there. There's one short from Greg Brown.
Teams are really running well lately. Good point.
Wide open. Ramey. Not this time. Offensive rebound, Greg Brown, and that's one of his specialties. Shaka Smart likes to say he is a violent rebound. Blocked at the rim. Open from the wing. No. Another offensive rebound by Brown. And he's blocked from behind.
Boy, good challenge on the backside by Kyler Edwards. Viper. About 25 miles northwest of downtown Austin.
Coleman out to Brown for three. Off the mark. But an offensive rebound gives Andrew Jones undefeated in Big 12 play.
He's going to drive left if he doesn't shoot the jumper. There it is. Yeah, there it is. A big triple, his first field goal up. They tried to crowd McClung. Edwards got a good look.
Loose ball, Brown.
Oh, my goodness. Up a triple. How about that? How about this young freshman?
All that stirs the drink. That one no good. And Greg Brown bringing it down for the Horns.
And this is the end where Levi.
Sims with the rebound. After the Brown, Quentin Johnson bricking the three. Greg Brown very active on that defensive possession. Lou Hill wants quicker shots. Knows there will be issues.
Onto the line because you're not going to be able to finish over that Texas length.
Coleman to the Big 12 logo. To Greg Brown, another deep attempt. Rims out. Of course, Brock Cunningham keeps it alive. And Brown hard to the hoop. No. Second attempt is good. And Greg Brown with the first points of his. Donovan Williams checks in. Still not 100% after offseason knee surgery. Brock Cunningham, offensive rebound. Greg Brown leaves it long. And 2 possessions now. Foul. Vaqueros in the bonus. Levi hit the front end of a one-on-one. And then Coleman leaves it short. Greg Brown was trying to get his first real highlight.
To help her, that would have been Brown. You end up with an easy basket.
Brown nearly turned it over. And then misses his losses.
Yeah, and that's no slap at these programs because those are very good teams and teams.
Hello, Greg Brown! Welcome to the big time!
Thompson, 2 legends, and I literally saw Coach cry as we sat on the shores of Goree Island looking at where slaves had embarked.
We've got the Camping World Maui Invitational for
back. So if we can coach it all, we're going to have a chance, all right? So really like the guys that we have returning. And then because they know with the culture that we want and what it takes to win at the
RJ Nembhard tries to play the point guard. However, he's more of a scorer. So because Mike Miles is the only true point guard, of course you're going to have a few boneheaded plays and really a few careless possessions. My man tried to break the backboard right there. Like Shaq.
Yeah. About to shatter. Oh, Sims trying to do his part at the other end, and we're tied at 8. Puts the shoulder into him. No. Andrew Jones comes away with it. Sims the trailer. He lays it home.
I like the double right there. Give him a different look.
Sims, how about another?
He's got to make shots with the guys he's playing with on the floor.
Matt Coleman lines it up, and Coleman buries it. Texas back in front. Big 12 now. Andrew Jones, one of 3 Texas players in double figures. And off the steal, Jones lays it in as Texas lead continues to grow.
John, but it's one of the only complaints I have with the young man because they've lost 3 out of 4 league games by 3 points or less. And my thought process is, hey, let's go, man. Again, Texas has got to move that ball versus the zone side to side. They will get shots.
Jones from deep, got it! And they're within 1.
And a slam jam bam time. They take the lead again, Baylor.
Look inside, and good job by Jones waiting and then putting.
They can do it. That's what Shaka expects out of them every single night.
Catch and shoot 3 missed by Jones. Another opportunity in the lob from Greg Brown to Jericho Sims.
I was in Rome in January. Is that good enough?
Beautiful there.
Love it there.
I've been there. Great ball movement by the Longhorns.
Tremendous passing. It started with
players coming out of Minneapolis. They're doing great stuff up there. In the high school level, hopefully the healing
on his drives because he can be so clever, and lefties are hard to guard anyway. Jay pointed this out yesterday. You got to learn how to create the contact, which creates the space, allow him to be able to use his length to be able to that in spurts at Maryland can absolutely at times take over the game on the offensive end.
Wiggins has 14 running the floor, but it's broken up. White team has numbers. Gray's going to hold it.
On his shot, Maceo kept giving him confidence to take it even if he missed. And I think there's a step to becoming a great shooter. First, you have to rep it and practice it where you get confidence. But the next thing is everyone's going to miss shot behind you. And if you miss 2 or 3, the great shooters think the next one's going in. And Davion has gotten to that. But I tell you what he's also done. He's become an elite finisher. He went from, I think, 44%.
Obviously affects perception of you. If you don't have the data to be able to watch a player, it changes the way you see the player, obviously. But this will change a lot of.
Jericho Sims took it away.
Unbelievable verticality right there. You're not jumping over him.
Brown goes to the front of the rim and draws a foul on Kuma. Nope, check. All scoring, and naturally as well led the conference in conference scoring as well.
And that's why he's one of 4 freshmen in the history of this league. The other 3 pretty good. To be player of the year in the league.
Ink tanks, lots of ink, no more cartridges. Incredible amount of ink. The Epson Eco Tank, just filling shit.
came. Really? I don't know if he came to a visit, but if he did, I wasn't there. But he was considering Baylor. Yeah, he was considering Baylor. From what I heard, don't know if it's accurate. I just heard it, but yeah.
Brown the spin. It's a walk. Brown shoveling to Sims. 6 to shoot. Brown in traffic. And he walked. And a timeout.
Impressive than all 8 of the makes.
Yes. And now heading the other way.
Texas can catch.
Jericho Sims with the good hands. Greg Brown loses a handle.
Yeah, that was a finishable.
4 minutes of the first half. Texas has done a much better job closing the first half than in years past. There's a turnover by Brown. Bolton out of control. Into the hand.
When you're a coach, Carter, when you're playing a talented team like Texas, you can't get too conservative.
Brown floats it inside. That's a travel.
Brown turns it over. Give him credit. Most players don't do that. He says, hey, it's on me. Most guys don't. 2-3 zone here. Change your pace. Try to keep Texas out of the paint. That's why they're playing the zone. Protect the rim. Another tie-up. Possession slash to the hoop. And you rewind all the way back, Pete, to that question for Texas, and really a conundrum. That's offensive foul, and it's on Brown.
He's been here 4 years. His trajectory and his timeline's been a little bit different than Bamba's and Hayes's, but he's had an excellent career, and I think he's got a chance to play in the NBA.
To Matt Coleman. Greg Brown was a catalyst in the win against Kansas State. Was terrific early on, but there's an early turnover. He was hitting that outside shot.
Well, I think it's got to go through some play calling, obviously.
Picked off there by Nembhard. 2 Miles for 3. Miles leaves it short.
The zone defense, which they're seeing a little bit of today. Texas could not make a shot in that game. Only 3 for 26 for the big 3 at the guard, as in Ramey's a benefit to TCU, because that would have ended nightmarish with Mr. Sims putting it down.
And Greg Brown called for a travel.
Others in recent history for K-State is the guards are leading the charge versus trying to go through the bigs to generate offense.
Texas turns it over, and we have a timeout in match.
These guys change every 2-3 months at this age.
Greg Brown pulls down the rebound, playing with 4 personal fouls, but it's a travel. And
Ramey. Brown. Big offensive interference. Fall. Brown the rebound, and another chance for Texas to cut into a 6-point deficit.
Yeah, and Greg Brown's going to travel, John, and this young man, and there he is.
And now the hands. Brown has it. I think they got him. Right for the loose ball. Brown had it ripped away. Anderson, little slop.
Why are you so negative today?
You don't get to jump in and rank things. You don't live in a binary world. Leave the ranking to me. Travel.
Look at that.
Mileage out of fast break points today.
So
Brown
we didn't
missed.
make the connection between Texas, LBJ, the Longhorns, the REA, and the movie currently showing on Kevin, and then we'll get back to the waterfalls.
Kevin Kiermaier is a Purdue alum. He's watching the game, but his brother also is on the grounds crew. He's one of the head groundskeepers of the Cubs over at Wrigley.
Scott no good. Here's Brown, a little bit out of control.
Yeah, that's predetermined. He knew what he was going to do when he crossed midcourt.
Harrell.
him. He's sort of what I would describe as an Alex Caruso type of player.
Brown just forcing it. Nowhere to go, and he's called for the travel.
Dan, I've watched every game of his. It's either been great history.
I'm going to tell you, the sky's the limit. You know, Joni Conrad did a great job, and she won a national championship in 1986, and Vic Schaefer has inherited a very talented
Well, you could at least be original and pick some other guy. He's always playing the hero late in the game. There's a travel. Greg Brown just trying to go a little bit too quickly.
You know why he traveled? Because they
earlier. I think it was a rainy finish, but Texas has two very good passing guards, point being. That three, good. The 11th ranked Texas Longhorns for Texas. That will kick off their conference season. Oklahoma State began their conference season tonight, and it was TCU with the upset, 7.
But the bottom line, he said the best defensive team he's seen all year is Baylor.
Offensive right foul. Everyday Jonathan Chumwachak.
Texas came out so strong to start the second half. Took a 2-point lead after being down 7 at the half. And now it's all.
It was pretty good. LaMarcus Aldridge. Guys like Jared Allen, Jackson Hayes, a couple of their recent outstanding freshmen. Brown. And it's a turnover.
Yeah, when you grab
Texas down by 2. Kamaka Hepa picking up a couple of fouls early, so he's been saddled with the foul trouble in the first half.
Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, a must-have for Big 12 fans. Tuesday, number 6 Kansas takes on Oklahoma State at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Then the Mountaineers take on TCU on the 6th.
And looks like Braun, spelled like Braun, but sounds like Brown. Kind of a jack-of-all-trades guy. He can have a big shooting game. He can have a big rebounding game. And then another Kansas turnover. Greg Brown, though.
You know, they've certainly not put enough pressure on Texas and making their shooters put the ball on the deck. I mean, look, it's not complicated. You want to make the drivers shoot and the shooters drive, and they're not doing that.
Studio just told us that evidently no Ron Harper Jr. for the Scarlet Knights today, so that will complicate things for them, but still a very good team taking on one of the most explosive offensive teams in the nation.
Texas can catch. Jericho Sims with the good hands. Greg Brown loses the handle.
Yeah, that was a finishable.
Minutes of the first half. Texas has done a much better job closing the first half than in years past. There's a turnover by Brown. Bolton out of control. Into the hands of...
Maybe one every 4 or 5 games, if that. Someone there.
That was a bad call. I think Greg Brown did his thing right there.
Jackson trying to run it down. He does so. Solomon Young had a little bit too much heat on it, and they turn it over. That's the first turnover of the half for either team. We mentioned how turnovers were an issue in the first half for both.
Look at that effort by Brock Cunningham.
Yeah, they say Matthew McConaughey is the minister of culture in Texas. Not for this basketball team, it's Brock Cunningham.
Well, listen, this is a kid who they expected a lot out of him, but he's gotten better every season.
Well, you want some high praise for Jericho Sims? None other than the Hall of Famer Bill Self said he's the best athlete in our league.
Well,
Freeman gets the Vaqueros on the board.
Well, and that's an example of what Coach Hill is talking about, putting pressure on Texas to rotate and get themselves in the right position defensively.
Well, it looks like Brown stepped on the line.
And there's that gamble.
Javon Levi, corner 3 right before the shot clock expired. No. But Connor Raines gets it back. Freeman from deep. No. First real highlight. Here comes Ray. And nothing is going right for the Vaqueros offense, but that is the defensive stalwart. Levi, pickpocket, Freeman.
Get baskets without your best player. This case, Levi on the floor, it's a bonus.
And another good defensive play by Johnson keeps it alive. Texas turns it over. Greg Brown out of control and with the travel. He will need to be a factor for Texas this season. Brown trying to leave it up for Kai Jones, and it's into the hands of Freeman.
Yeah, and his point of release.
Yeah.
Up his wallet for the first time since I've known him. He took out a Canadian $5 bill and he handed it to me and he said, "Tear it in half." I'm like, what?
As Davion kept working on his shot, Maceo kept giving him confidence to take it even if he missed. And I think there's a step to becoming a great shooter. First,
he can't fault him starting Kai Jones the way he has begun this game, a coast-to-coast layup.
Race, you don't have to be a one-and-done guy. In his case, he's such a late developer. He's just getting on NBA.
For Lon Kruger tonight. And if you're Texas, and you're looking at the stat sheet, Matt Coleman hasn't scored. He's only taken 4 shots. These Texas guards are going to have to make plays.
Turning it over way too much, and we're getting beat on the glass.
I mean, I think another part of that is
really had this meteoric rise to where he was drafted into the NBA in the first round, and many are saying the surprise first round pick.
Johnson going baseline, trying to wrap it around the condit, and it's off the big fella's knee. So Greg Brown.
And everyone who has watched Texas also knows capable of defensive lapsing. Going to get McClung going. Another good players, but he's their catalyst. McCullough turns around. Brown gets.
So it'll be interesting to see if he brings him back in this half.
I did a game earlier this year where Fats Russell, that you
driven by Coach Mark, typically says he'll have a different theme for these games, and that one was about making the teammates fortunate there with that possession. It was extremely crowded over there, not a lot of space. And when the floor cleared, 2-line or back to the 2-line. If I'm Texas, that's where I'm trying to get for the tournament.
And there are plenty of opportunities.
Kansas does a lot of switching on the perimeter. That time they break down. Selfish is a great trait, but sometimes it actually can hurt the team.
Inside and
handle this cattle drive.
The Longhorns were 66-44 winners yesterday.
Get some offense from him on the block, and Texas has all but negated that. He just gives them another dimension.
Brown, the light. Back to Harrell. 3 on the shot clock. Pass Jones. Brown swallows it up.
In the post, there are playmakers in there.
Caleb Daniels, the transfer from Tulane, the extra pass now to Moore. He'll put up a 3.
A little bit about at halftime, Dan. I thought Villanova would keep Texas from scoring as easily as they did in the first half.
Moore inside again, and Greg Brown's having none of it.
trying to find that energy when you can't feed off a packed house.
You got to be a guy that's about the substance of the basketball.
Team in assists for 4 consecutive years. There's been 5 others that have done it in 3 seasons, but he could do it for all 4. And I think we've had 2.
Watch, this is what they did earlier. A lot of spacing, spread, and eventually getting downhill.
Sooners with 8 offensive rebounds.
You see just a great offensive flow now on both ends.
Now, 2 minutes to go, first half. Texas can tie it here with this shot.
Solomon Young has it rim out on an offensive board. And Jaden Johnson puts it up short. Well, with that counting as a turnover. Iowa State kind of hanging around, got as close as 8.
He wedged his way to create space. He has such a strong lower body.
Shots. They don't need you to do that. They need you to make intelligent plays.
Rim attack.
Race. You don't have to be a one-and-done guy. In his case, he's such a late developer. He's just getting on NBA.
Standing on the floor. They are really smothering every one of these Oklahoma offensive players.
Londas Williams strong.
Been inconsistent, but tonight he has come up huge.
Williams working on Brown. Got him in the air. Alondas Williams still.
For Lon Kruger tonight. And if you're Texas, and you're looking at the stat sheet, Matt Coleman hasn't scored. He's only taken 4 shots. These Texas guards are going to have to make plays.
Texas lead back to 5. Williams drives on Brown, who got a piece of that.
Turning it over way too much, and we're getting beat on the glass.
I mean, I think another part of that is
Fuller on the drive. On Greg Brown. Texas has its largest lead. Nembhard slashes in.
Really had this meteoric rise to where he was drafted into the NBA in the first round, and many are saying the surprise first-round pick.
Self, your true self, as Jericho Sims nearly takes it the other way. Oh, nice finish, and made them possibility for the NCAA tournament, and got Shaka Smart back for another year.
Game Cardi, the second leading scorer, a great athlete. Peavy off the bounce on Brown. Peavy on top.
Knows that just because your older brother beats the heck out of you and you fight doesn't mean you're not great friends and love each other and all that. I don't think it's that short.
Kansas on an 11-2 run to open up this 4-point lead.
And with this smaller lineup, Kansas has been able to do a really good job of staying in front of drive, forcing one up with a hand in his face.
That goes over the backboard.
Don't need to jump through any crazy hoops. What's in your wallet?
T-Mobile knows the new year brings big news.
We're having a baby! Early in this first half. Denies the screen. Brown does not get 3 for 3 from deep.
I wish we could do statistics on when he's square 2 line or back to the 2 line. If I'm Texas, that's where I'm trying to get for the tournament.
And there are plenty of opportunities.
Potentially wreck a lot of havoc in the tournament.
Again, if they had not appealed their postseason ban.
Execution waned for him in the first part of the second half. He takes and makes a huge 3.
Antonio Gordon.
Coaching experience in a power conference. And this is his best team.
Inside.
Selfish is a great trait, but sometimes it actually can hurt the team.
Inside, and sometimes it's funny, friend. They show all those games together. I remember watching, and I remember specific games.
Pay the starters for the Bearcats against Laterno. 20 wins for the last 5 years. Had 18 wins last year before season was cut short. Outside of Nuttall, they have 5.
Free throws the difference. When you think about what he's done with that program from where it was when he arrived, unbelievable. Look at the poise. See the poise they keep.
There's turnarounds in mid-season, and they won 5 in a row coming down the stretch, and really looked like a tough out to get if they got in the NCAA tournament.
Fouls in the 9 minutes. He only had 1 shot attempt in the first half for Texas, but has been shooting very well the last several games. Here's Matthews' big Raymond here. Look at this long pass from Andrew Jones. Gets his first assist of the game. All the way down court to 3 left.
Well, that was a tough drive by Courtney Ramey. He had the 6'7" Matthews right in his grill. He just kind of forced his way, found that.
Again, looks like Braun, spelled like Braun, but sounds like Brown. Kind of a jack-of-all-trades guy. He can have a big shooting game. He can have a big. He traditionally, throughout his career, has been a guy to come in off the bench, a complimentary player, but he's out there starting in the second half.
Well, he can get out and guard a ball screen a lot easier. Brown to get all the way to the rim like that, just right down the middle of the floor. Bill Self's got to be beside himself with the way his Jayhawks are playing.
Largest lead of the game.
Really had this meteoric rise to where he was drafted into the NBA in the first round, and many are saying the surprise first round pick.
Made them possibility for the NCAA tournament and got Shaka Smart back for another year. There's Jamin Jones.
Go play somewhere professionally. I mean, he's a presence down low. When he gets the ball and is able to work, he can really score.
Iowa State kind of hanging around, got as close as 8.
Pick and roll team. They are an isolation team.
And all 3 of those vaunted guards have scored already. There's Jamarius Burton.
Great look by Sims. He felt a little bit of a double team pressure. Kicked it out to the weak side corner. There's Greg Brown.
Lost 5 of their last 6. Nembhard over Greg Brown, and that's good. Fuller on the drive. On Greg Brown.
Made them possibility for the NCAA tournament and got Shaka Smart back for another year.
Oh, man, is he hot. Sean McNeil in the
early in this first half. Denies his screen. Brown does not get it.
We've got her attached to it.
Just hope for a better day. Hope those days are coming.
Marco is not a low post scorer. He gets it off the dunker spot.
And that's a travel. It's a turnover.
He should give Kareem a call. Or James Worthy. James Worthy, he went to the University of North Carolina. Gave one of the...
Not comparing them as players as much as I am decision-making from beyond the arc. I think Brown, with his...
Basketball on Longhorn Network is presented by Coors Light. Made to chill. 21 means...
They came out here really challenged thus far. We've got time on that clock.
Mitchell from the elbow.
When you think about what he's done with that program from where it was when he arrived, unbelievable. Look at the poise. See the poise they keep.
With the small lineup, Maddox trying to post.
Fouls in the 9 minutes. He only had 1 shot attempt in the first half for Texas, but has been shooting very well the last several games. Here's Matthews' big Rame 3 left.
Well, that was a tough drive by Courtney Ramey. He had the 6'7" Matthews right in his grill. He just kind of forced his way, found that.
Really had this meteoric rise to where he was drafted into the NBA in the first round, and many are saying the surprise first round pick.
Made them possibility for the NCAA tournament and got Shaka Smart back for another year. There's Jamin Jones.
Pick and roll team. They are an isolation team.
And all three of those vaunted guards have scored already. There's Jamarius Burton.
But you already see the intensity level Greg Brown, this freshman, brings to this team.
Texas Tech,
oh boy.
use it. A minute to go. Texas Tech could tie it with a bucket, take the lead with a three.
Too much on one side, too much on one side.
That easy.
You got to be willing to run.
Yes, you do. And you've got to, not only you got to be willing, Lowell, you've got to
show it out. Now, the Vaqueros did get within single digits. They got within 9 late in the first half, but Texas responded with a 7-0.
Yes, by Sims. One, you're getting the ball on one end, and then you're having to guard their best big on the other end.
I mean, he threw a bullet pass, and it looked like it was one of those passes that could get intercepted or go out of bounds, but he knew exactly what he was doing. What a great play.
That being Jones getting going. Coach Smart is going to...
And your guy Cunningham, the head of the snake, in that 1-2-2. Baseline jumper will go down
on Texas, Brand.
Look at that. Yeah, 3 minutes. We're going to find out what Texas is made of. We know they've played with toughness all year. Can't leave him open.
And protects at the top.
Three left wing.
You're getting the ball on one end, and then you're having to guard their best big on the other end.
Fading away, Javen.
Enough to alter that shot. Three.
Boy, Texas Tech's half-court offense, Rich, has not been very good, and they're within 1 point of maybe taking the lead.
You're going to play them. I mean, I'm sure that's part of the agreement when you get them to sign here. They're not going to sit on the bench.
Up his wallet for the first time since I've known him. He took out a Canadian $5 bill and he handed it to me and he said, "Tear it in half." I'm like, what? Kessler Edwards showing some versatility defensively. Really good.
Hey, guys really are moving the ball out here. Pressed into the rack.
Guard Bones Highland, you know, at 6'8", did a good job of staying in front, stopping that initial drive.
Take a look at this.
You're named Moses. Does that mean the entire lane has to part and nobody comes over to defend? Is that part of the deal?
Nice dish inside. Jericho Sims. A lot of tools for the big man.
You see how he's stepping out even on those hard hedges? I've been really impressed with his footwork on both ends of the floor as well.
Yes.
Bernard Kuma tries to dig it free and does, but then traveled.
You on Sunday, and then off to the Big 12 tournament, and then to Indy for the NCAA tournament. Tough stretch for the Longhorns. Him going.
This is super unusual to see him so quiet. How about the defense here? I mean, Jericho Sims is putting him in handcuffs.
Turning it over way too much, and we're getting beat on the glass.
I mean, I think another part of that is
that displaced a few of the players from their apartments.
Man, I understand that. Very efficient. That's what happens when your guards set you up and make you look good. Easy points.
Virginia just 5, and he fouled out in 31 minutes. Now he's got Brock Cunningham on him. Neverhart flips it. 4% from the outside, one of the very best in the Big 12. Terran Todd to the rack. Ledee over Greg Brown.
Here in the Big 12, how many close games, Carter, can we get? Every one, it seems like a nail biter.
It's as a college basketball fan, it's just a thrill to watch. Count the buckets.
That's where they go dribble penetration, because they all can go. The three tremendous veteran guards certainly can do that. Jones, Coleman, and Ramey.
By Christian Brown. David McCormack out of the ball game with those 2 fouls. Wilson from the corner. Gets after his own miss. Swoops in, and that's blocked. That's Greg.
Over inside, couple of fakes. Averaging just a shade under 8 points a game. And already today with 10, 5 of 6, and they've all been in close. 3 dunks.
Don't need to jump through any crazy hoops. What's in your wallet?
T-Mobile knows the new year brings big news. Get an iPhone 12 with 5G on us on every single plan. And save 20% in your bill every month versus
for these games, and that one was about making teammates better.
McGee with the rebound. Tries to get the is at 100%. Missed the last game against Iowa State with a non-COVID related illness. Samuel, nice position and a nice finish.
And he can do that. Hadn't had his best outing today. But I expect Kai Jones to come back. And this
6 to shoot. Miguel on the perimeter. Looking inside, and he finds Bradford.
Grow up before our eyes. I hope that Coach Weber remains, because he's done a great job of helping these guys develop.
Longhorns having lost 4 of 5 coming in, including 3 in a row. Pack in the lane.
So that's just a snapshot, but these guys change every 2-3 months at this age.
I think on the other hand, this Cowboy team, very similar to where Texas was a couple years ago, but of course they have Kate Cunningham.
And Cunningham the rebound. Cowboys looking to add to an 8-point advantage. Cunningham puts it on the floor, goes to the rim. Sometimes it's funny, friend, they show all those games together. I remember watching, and I remember specific games. He gets inside. Teague, scoop shot. They call him.
Seems very athletic. Looks like left a little weight there, Shocker, as well.
Butler mid-range.
Go, you're down 9. You're playing another 2 team in the nation. You got to lock up some people.
Teague inside off the window, and I love when you drop the rate statistics on me and not the counting statistics. You know I'm always a fan of that. Manic.
God, they're playing Kentucky right now, but I think it's a great opportunity for Oklahoma to get a quality out-of-conference win. Tough
nice
move.
job. January 16th since February 8th of last year.
We could argue, John, that he was one of the best young players.
The crowd that isn't actually there making some noise. Getting inside. When do you get Matt Coleman back in the game?
Yeah, I would say, not right away. If it gets old. They've got that floor spread very nicely with scorers out there.
Feed inside.
And if you're Texas, don't put them on the line.
They can play with anybody in the country. Any team on any given night, they're just as good. But sometimes they just lack the consistency. They lack the ball movement.
Well, with that counting as a turnover.
Because, yeah, I mean, you just got to like him. One of those guys doesn't talk trash when he's on the court. Just a real, genuine guy. Kind of feel for him.
Pick and roll team. They are an isolation team.
And all 3 of those vaunted guards have scored already. There's Jamarius Burton.
Pick and roll that time. There was no help because all 3 other offensive players weak side. There's Sims again on the switch. Watch him move his feet.
The Texas bench is up and loud for this defensive possession.
To see in person. And AJ Lawson, a guy you played U19s with out in Greece. We were out there watching 17-7 and 7 today, really helped himself. Right. What's the scouting report on AJ Lawson?
He needs to get better.
Well, it also helps
keeps him visible when he's been the key addition to the Phoenix Suns.
Under a minute to play, Champagnie knocks down the three.
A great way to put it by Sandro is that, you have to understand who you're going to be certainly at the start. And, nobody's here scouting these players going, okay, well, how he can impact the game. He's not running the floor right here. He needs to get back. I mean, he's on defense here. Look how late he was getting there. And if he'd run...
Avery Anderson.
Febres with Cunningham, but they don't see it yet.
Anderson bailed out by Walker. Here's Cunningham for a triple. The long rebound.
Courtney Ramey, Brock Cunningham all missed the first meeting with Oklahoma and Austin, as well as Shaka Smart. KT Turner acted as the head
coach. 5 of their last 6. Nemhard over Greg Brown, and that's good.
With this upcoming year's draft, because he will be in the NBA.
He could be a first-round pick just like Greg Brown.
Easily. No questions asked.
Oklahoma State, but in both games, the Cowboys were not ranked. You see what Oklahoma State is now.
Oklahoma State.
And everyone who has watched Texas also knows capable of defensive lapses.
Abaji, yes. Allowing a big comeback by West Virginia Saturday afternoon in the rearview mirror. Abaji from the wing. That's his second.
I mean, he threw a bullet pass, and it looked like it was one of those passes that could get intercepted or go out of bounds, but he knew exactly what he was doing. What a great play.
Play by Donovan Williams, but it caroms to Jalen Wilson. Abaji. He's got another. A high school in Austin, so he didn't play against monster competition in high school. He basically didn't play against him. As Abaji tries another three. And
Sims inside, tried to reverse, couldn't do it. Rebound pulled down Matthews. Here are the Mountaineers.
Sherman. So it'll be interesting to see if he brings him back in this half.
I did a game earlier this year where Fats Russell and you. Oh, man, is he hot. Sean McNeil in the second.
Season, but they are getting tuned up right now by number 5 Illinois, 65-42. Kofi Cope.
Picked up there by Nemhard. 2 Miles for 3. Miles leaves it short. It did not drop.
That was very Greg Brown. Like he's got to finish.
Under a minute to play in the first half. They're looking at Kevin Sandel inside, but Sims is not giving him space. Team's almost like it's dropped because TCU simply hasn't looked his way as much.
Well, and part of that is because of those guards are so good, and Coach Dixon knows that. Well, that last basket, he was square.
Brown lost the handle. Here come the Frogs.
Fortunate there with that possession. It was extremely crowded over there. Not a lot of space. And then the floor cleared.
Defending him on the switch now. 6 to shoot. Off the screen from Bradford. McGurl has to put it up from near NBA range. They've lost 10 in a row since. 6 to shoot. McGurl working against Coleman. Kazupke.
Kansas does a lot of switching on the perimeter. That time they break down.
What about the legs right now in a game against a team like Baylor, who's so unbelievable, physical, quick, athletic.
But Vital not able to hit.
Look at that ball movement. Look at the ball movement. That's what a team does. Give major mistakes. Yet they'll take guys averaging 5-6 points a game because they said, oh, they got great athleticism and potential. Potential gets coaches fired.
Team, players, personnel, and game management people. It is a sterile environment.
Williams jumper.
Freshman year form. Putting big numbers on the board and really efficient, John, from behind the arc. Wow. It's a well-oiled offensive machine Oklahoma has. Watch how they move it, space it, and drive it.
Way downtown, that one. Wow, Oklahoma with a couple of chances right there, point blank. Here's Hill, wide open.
Unable to convert that into points that time. Here's Javen Johnson. He had a career-high 21 points in the first meeting at Texas on January 5th. Texas hit 4 of their first 5 from the field, but they've hit only 1 of their next 5. They let him shoot it. Who does complete the flush?
I mean, I'll never forget when Greg Brown dunked on JT from Baylor. Might have been the next.
Solomon Young has it rim out on an offensive board. And Javen Johnson puts it up short enough to alter that shot. Three. Stick around when the buzzer sounds. We'll visit with a member of the ball.
Texas already 2 for 2 from the three-point line. Neither of these teams shoot it exceptionally well from deep. Shannon.
But you already see the intensity level Greg Brown, this freshman, brings to this team.
Texas Tech.
Oh boy. Boy, Texas Tech's half-court offense, Rich, has not been very good. And they're within 1 point of maybe taking the lead. They fouled.
Here's Edwards. Oh, that was Shannon.
First time since I've known him. He took out a Canadian $5 bill and he handed it to me and he said, tear it in half. I'm like, why would I tear money in half? He goes, tear it in half.
And then off to the Big 12 tournament. And then to Indy for the NCAA tournament. Tough stretch for the Longhorns. Greg Brown erases the shot.
But tonight, he has come up huge.
Williams working on Brown. Got him in the air. Alondas Williams still blocked, and that's going to go off Coleman.
And if you're Texas, you're looking at the stat sheet. Matt Coleman hasn't scored. He's only taken 4 shots. These Texas guards are going to have to make plays down the stretch.
The other team, we're turning it over way too much, and we're getting beat on the glass.
I mean, I think another part of that is the fact that, Mike Miles is the only true point guard they have on this team.
Wilson from the corner. Gets after his own miss. Swoops in, and that's blocked. As Greg Brown stuffs him under the rim.
Or he tried to. Annual fee. No need to jump through any crazy hoops. What's in your wallet?
T-Mobile knows the new year brings big news. Get an iPhone 12 with 5G on us on every...
Last 10 times. It's funny, friend. They show all those games together. I remember watching, and I remember specific games, but you and I were together for the Austin Rivers.
Did Camping World send you a waterfall for the tournament?
No. I just have to close my eyes and the waterfalls. Greg Brown, send it back. The Longhorn.
Kamaka, I call him Kamaka Hepa Smart because he is an extension of his coach. And he is always, they typically get some offense from him on the block. And Texas has all but negated that. He just gives them another dimension.
Brown, the light block there, but a stuff nonetheless.
Talked about that being Jones getting going. Coach Smart is going to...
Addison Wallace thought he was throwing it down instead. Back to Harrell. 3 on the shot clock. Pass Jones. Brown swallows it up. Another block. And a shot.
And I thought Villanova would keep Texas from scoring as easily as they did in the first half.
Moore inside again, and Greg Brown's having none of it. Well, it's one thing to do that against a guard.
Force it inside. They didn't have a shot. Too much dribbling. Too much.
And too much length. Greg Brown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You knew that was coming. Greg Brown started.
May, Crump, and Ikpe, the starters for the Bearcats. And there is Greg Brown right there impacting the game.
College basketball on Longhorn Network is presented by Coors Light. Made to chill. 21 means 21.
Well, with that counting as a turnover. Turnovers are even now on both sides.
They are not pick and roll team. They are an isolation team.
And all 3 of those vaunted guards have scored already. There's Jamarius Burton blocked at the rim. In the second half, over 2 minutes gone by. Peavy 2 feet in the paint.
Yep.
Puts it up against the fellow freshman Brown. It comes up short, and it's going to be Texas basketball. He's on the board in the second half.
Great look by Sims. He felt a little bit of a double team pressure. Kicked it out to the weak side corner. There's Greg Brown.
Yep, leading this team in blocks. Gets one swat.
And Shaka Smart said, I love his dad because he's constantly pushing his son to be better and better. Good challenge right there.
Another block from Brown.
What you love about that is he stayed on.
Injured and warm.
That's the shot he wants to be taking initially. I think he needs to work himself into the game. And there he is with a rebound. Let's see him run.
Let's get past the Gray. Floater is blocked by McCormaker. In a player or players who could be the next Terrence Mann, Herder.
I don't know if you'd go sort of to Herder in that first round type, whether there's a player here that's going to...
All smiles for our Moodcast. We have warm sunshine all throughout our area.
Where exactly will these cannabis retail establishments be allowed?
This bus allows 6 people at a time to come in and get vaccinated.
The first...
Cade Cunningham for 3. That rims off. Andrew Jones drives it, and he'll go to the...
Jericho Sims with an early 8 points for Texas. Jalen Hill's 3 is off the mark. And then off to the Big 12 tournament. And then to Indy for the NCAA tournament. Tough stretch for the Longhorns. Greg Brown erases the shot.
Look at the length. And he is super effective when he's getting to the rim.
Almost 3 minutes without an Oklahoma bucket. Reeves deep on the 3.
You can just feel Texas is
him going.
This is super unusual to see him so quiet. How about the defense here? I mean, Jericho Sims is putting him in handcuffs.
Jones flushes it.
Helping and recovering. Really good defense.
Harmon, tough three. Rebound, Greg Brown.
They are just everywhere right now. They're coming over to help. They're getting back.
Turning it over way too much, and we're getting beat on the glass.
I mean, I think another part of that is the fact that, Mike Miles is the only true point guard they have on this team. And Mike Miles is a freshman.
The Big 12 at 16 per game. Got to put it up. And Greg Brown pulls it down.
See, that was a perfect possession, right? The perfect example right there.
Basket, he's got 5 points. Nembhard over Ramey at the other end.
Yeah, I don't like that shot right there. I mean, there was no swing of the ball.
Kai Jones is fronting Kevin Samuel on the post. Mike Miles, a deep three. Greg Brown plucks it for Texas.
Congratulations to Scott Drew and your alma mater, King, and also for Baylor, it's their first conference championship since 1950 when they were in the Southwest Conference. So it's been 71 years in the making. Harris, a lot of dribbling. Shot clock winding down. He shoots a three. And just not anything there for Iowa State to try to stop the bleeding. That
You got to. You got to get it to Jalen Coleman land. Not that.
Well, shot clock was winding down, but that's the only decent excuse.